know what Event 201 is? Event 201 was roughly 2 months before, that took place 2 months before the initial start of, there's differences in dates. Some people say it was a month before, some people say 3 months before. Event 201, we'll just say on average, or roughly it was 2 months before the start of this full pandemic thing, I call it, as you know, of COVID-19 or whatever other names they have out there, and all of the mutations and all of this stuff. This is just the beginning, just the start of something bigger, of the Great Reset, which is not just financial. The Great Reset's for a full deal with everything financial, a one world currency, a control aspect, get rid of your meats, get rid of everything they don't approve, and get you down in a lockdown society, a police society, a police state. That's been the goal, and that's what they're doing now if people don't resist. But anyways, Event 201 was something that was 2 months beforehand. It had to do with the World Economic Forum was involved, Bill Gates was involved, I believe Bezos was involved, a whole bunch of your elites and groups. Davos might have been a part of that. I'm sure Soros had something to do with that. I don't remember with all the stuff I research and read nowadays, but look up Event 201 because that's a telltale. What would happen, they put on this event, what would happen if a COVID, a coronavirus, not a COVID, but a coronavirus, which they say causes COVID, what would happen if a coronavirus became really bad and it started to kill people, started to, wreck people's lives and infiltrate society? What would happen then? And they went through all these plays and these playbooks, and they had news anchors, I was going to call them news actors, which is the same thing, put up fake news broadcasts of this is what's happening in this country, this is what's happening here, this is the body count, so on and so forth. And they did all this stuff as you would do for a movie, little B-cam stuff, B-roll stuff, and other camera shots and angles, and did a whole write-up, had writers do it, and did this whole thing for this Event 201 to run through. What would happen? What would we do? What would be the case? What will we do as society in case this happens? And imagine that. 2 months later, it happened. So they say. They have us going like it's here, like it's been happening. Do a little research and you might change your mind on that aspect. I know I've done a few videos about this, but so just Event 201, 2 months before this full thing got blown out of proportion, and this whole coronavirus, COVID-19 thing, which you are now need to abide by and listen to everything Fauci and Gates say. And Gates is now the most brilliant doctor to ever walk the face of this earth, according to Google, even though he's never done anything to do with a doctor or nurse or healthcare, and he doesn't even have a college education, let alone a nursing degree or a doctorate. So think about that. So that was 2 months before this whole thing started. So if you go back in time, 3 months before 9/11 happened, they ran an exercise. What would happen if someone drove airplanes into the World Trade Center? They just did it, just coincidentally. That's what they tell us. What would happen? So they ran exercises of that, of planes running into the World Trade Center, and what would happen? What would be the downfall? Monetarily, because of that's where a lot of the money transactions and monetary stuff had happened, was the World Trade Center, and a lot of different countries were cited there, and different things for different countries, monetary stuff beyond everything else that the World Trade Center hosted. But they did this exercise 3 months before, and voila, it happened. Yeah, I gotta tell you, that's some high coincidences. We got that one happened 3 months before 9/11 actually happened. And then we got the one recently, Event 201, which happened 2 months before this full pandemic started infiltrating, becoming a reality. And then since spring of 2019, and probably even before or more. I've been hearing since spring of 2019, so over a year ago, that they've been doing small scale famine exercises. So what are small scale famine exercises? What happens if there's not enough shipments of food, or what happens if there's been a drought here, or they've been drenched over here, and the crops can't provide enough food, or something with the livestock over here, and they're running these famine exercises, but they're doing it on a large scale. They're small exercises right now, but they're doing the exercises on a large scale. What would happen if countries were affected by this? What would happen if there's no food available? What would happen if there was not meat available? What would happen if there was not these vegetables available or these grains available? And they've been running these exercises on a small scale, small exercises on a large scale, I should say, since spring of 2019. So it's just been in the back of my mind that that's going to be coming sometime. I don't know, but history shows me, at least, doing research, that once they get large-scale exercises here and they're running them, voila, soon after, the inevitable happens. Coincidence? You decide what that is. I have my thoughts. You got to do a little research if you are unsure. So, beyond that, now, there's a large event that's planned in summer of 2021. It might be late summer. They don't have a date yet, but I've been reading about this. A large event planned that includes World Economic Forum, Gates. I'm sure Soros is somewhere involved there. I'm sure Bezos is. I'm sure all the elites. I'm sure that some of the United Nations are involved in that, like I've been involved in Event 201. I'm sure that there are many, many other countries. No matter what scale the country's involved, I know they've always been involved in these type of events. And like I said before, magically it happens. So, summer of 2021, they've got a large event planned to run, an exercise they call it, the global cyber pandemic. I believe they're doing it to facilitate their Great Reset. The cyber pandemic says, I think they have a name for it, it's cyber polygon. It's going to reset. It's going to shut down the internet. They're going to say there's some cyber, infiltration, a cyber pandemic which wipes out the internet access to it, and then no one can get on it, no matter how big or small. Maybe select few people will be able to, and then all of a sudden, magically, after a set amount of time, whether that's days, months, years, it may be back online, but it's not going to be the internet you and I know. It's not going to be free. There's not going to be all these things out there that you are used to and I am used to. It's going to be a completely different thing. It's going to be all about obeying and control. That's this cyber polygon. Look that up. They've done small runs on it, and now they've got a large event planned for summer of 2021. And if history tells you anything, it's not far after that event that it's a reality. Thursday is just preparing just in case, but in my mind it's something different than that. So the internet is going to be different once it comes back online, is my opinion. There's already been multiple people banned from the internet. I mean, whether they're in a court case or whether they've just been posting too much stuff that the governments don't agree with, no matter what country we're talking. It's happened to multiple countries. And I even believe in the United States of America it's happened. And I believe it's a lady, and she's banned from the internet for a set amount of time. What does that mean? That means she was given a court order. If you get access to the internet, no matter how, she's doing a lot of jail time. Just for getting the internet. So she can't check her bank accounts. She can't order something online. She can't watch a movie online. She can't listen to music online. She can't do anything that touches the internet. Well, in my opinion, and everything I've known, that's free. You have a free life, you have a free will, and you have freedom to do what you want. And to stop you from doing this thing that is free, called the internet, that's a different level. I mean, I guess it's on the same level, all this crazy stuff going on with these masks and these police that are close to what happened in, Germany, and what's going on in Australia is just beyond recognition for a country, a free country whatsoever. But look up these events and just think about it, because it's going to happen. This a big event that's planned. It's going to happen this summer. So whatever you need to do to prepare for that, to make sure you have food, water, shelter, make sure you have enough assets, make sure you have just enough things to protect yourself and your family. I suggest you get going now, because the internet, in my opinion, is not going to be there to go to. Just like this famine thing. If this famine thing, their exercises come through, there's not going to be grocery stores open. And if they are, they're not going to have everything readily available. It's just not going to be the same if they get their way. So why I'm saying this is I hope you do some research, Event 201, do some research on the cyberpolygon, cyberpolynet, whatever the cyber pandemic. It has multiple names, but it's going to be happening this summer. And look up that event that happened, 3 months before 9/11. Just do a little research, decide for yourself, and then make sure you're always protecting yourself and your family. But as always, thanks for watching. If you want to hit that like button and share this, that would be great. But stay vigilant, protect yourself, protect your family, protect your wealth, protect your health.